Hey everybody, it's been a minute. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Please hit the like button and leave a comment down below. We're going to get right into this. You saw the title. So I have a love-hate relationship with my Elektron model cycles. If you've looked at a bunch of my videos, you know that this is my main drum machine. I start a lot of my beats with this, or at least it was my main drum machine. But I should say that I do really love this machine. When I say there's like a love-hate, there's a lot more love than there is hate. So right off the bat, where we ran into an issue with the Elektron model cycles is its saving functionality is not what I would expect. And I'm actually noticing this with other Elektron devices too, that there's like the saving of projects is a little weird. So maybe you know where this is going now, but I've had to take this out as my main drum machine for two big reasons. And we're going to go over the one reason now, which is when you get this thing, you have, 6 banks to store beats. When you get it from the factory, bank 1 and 2 have presets in them. Upon opening your model cycles, that leaves on that preset project, it leaves 4 open banks. And so for the first year and a half that I owned this, I was like, adding beats to bank 3, 4, 5, and 6. And eventually I ran out and all my beats were saved on here. And so I was like, oh crap, I'm at 6. I need to start a new project. What I did, and I'm going to zoom in here and let's see if I can, there we go. So what happened is I went into project and you see that there's stock. Sorry, my hand keeps getting in the way. There's stock. And then now I have a new. And I was going to start a new project. Well, when you go through switching projects, it asks you, do you want to save the existing project? And apparently I did not save my project. And so I just started a new blank project and I didn't save the previous one. And then I went back to it and all my beats were gone. But let me back up a little bit. I had this thing for a year, over a year, maybe 2 years. I powered it off. I unplugged it. I brought it to people's houses. I've used this thing a lot and it saved every single time. Every single time in between every power cycle, it's always saved all my settings, all my knobs, everything. Never once did it ever reset a pattern, any parameters, nothing. When it asked me, do you want to save? It seemed like I guess I should have just innately said yes. I guess I wasn't paying attention. And the way it kind of comes up, it's a little confusing too. So I don't know how it happened, but I didn't end up saving that project. And then I lost all my beats. And honestly, that took a lot of wind out of my sails because I had a lot of work saved in this machine. And to have all my beats just disappear in a second was really disappointing. There were beats that I had programmed in here that I had, several patterns were, so I can switch, and I had built-in transitions. And so it was a lot of work that was built into these 4 banks. And when you lose all that, it kind of is a bummer. And there were, and while I know I wasn't using all of those beats all the time and I wasn't reusing them very often, I definitely had some go-to beats that when I was starting a patch over here on the modular, and I would, I just as a starting point, I would use one of these sort of go-to beats. And And then if I really liked the direction of the patch, I would like change the beat and like add things to it or modify it or make it unique, you know? And sometimes I would change some of those beats and just leave them that way. And that like, because they were better in that iteration. So I just left them that way. Again, turning the machine on and off, always saved it. But then I guess when you change projects, it deletes everything. So that's a major drawback to, I think, Elektron's model cycles. I'm sure model samples probably works the same way. And it's just unfortunate. It just seems like really bizarre to me that they would let the device do that. So that's reason number one. I need to get rid of this as my main drum machine. Reason number two, sorry for no face cam today. Reason number two is you can't multi-track record with this. One of the main things with this is this: when you have 6 channels of sounds, some of which are bass drum, maybe a bass line, and then other things are your hi-hats, your snares, then more mid-range tones or synths or chords. You can't mix this after you put it into a DAW. And I know I'm mainly a DAW-less jamming kind of a person here, but like, you know, when I want to record a jam, I do sometimes want to mix it. The workaround on this device is that you can pan things left and right. So I would put all my low frequency things on the left side and all my high frequency things on the right side. And then that kind of limits what you can do. You know, if I put my kick drum to the left, my hi-hats and snares to the right, you know, if I have competing frequencies for anything else on the other patterns, there's nothing I can do about that. The multi-track recording with these boxes is just difficult. It's prohibitive. These are for inspiration. These are for sketching out ideas. These are for, but you're not, very few people are going to actually be like writing albums, writing songs with this device for that reason. It's just cumbersome to record with this device. So between losing all my beats and not being able to do the kind of recording I want to do with this device, a change needed to happen. And if we can move our camera a little bit this way, that is the change we're talking about here. That's the change right there, folks. Yep. That's what's coming next, buddy. That is the Analog Rhythm Mark II. And I'm going to be doing another video on this. And you can see my cargo shorts. Sorry, guys. Got the dad outfit on. But, you know, just like the model cycles has these track pads here. So, same here. When you think about the workflow of model cycles and you think about the workflow of Analog Rhythm, the sequencer below, but you can select your, this is the same workflow. It's pretty close. Now I will say it's definitely not the same workflow. Definitely not the same workflow, but it was similar enough to where this was the upgrade for me. I was looking at Syntact, I was looking at Digitact. I was, you know, I love the sequencer, so obviously I wanted to stay in with Elektron, but this to me felt like the right step. And I know a lot of people say that like the Syntact is the big version of this, but when I think about how I use this, this actually fits that bill better than the Syntact. And that's where I'm at. So I have more videos coming up on the Analog Rhythm. I'm still gonna keep my model cycles because there's a lot of sounds in here that I love and I could use with this device now, or I could sample these sounds into this device. So there's a lot of cool stuff that I can do here now between these two, and I can multi-track record. But I did find that on this device, you have to save each drum kit. You have to save each pattern and save each project as you go, because the first couple days I had this, I was losing patterns because I wasn't saving manually. Maybe that's because this is like a 10-year-old device now. Whatever they were doing here for the power cycle to autosave, they should definitely carry into this device. But now that I know that, I just save 3 times before I quit anything, and we're good to go. It's been good ever since. So new video coming up. Again, if you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe. Looking forward to sort of sharing what's been going on here for the last couple months. Big changes to my rack, my Euro rack. So I want to share that stuff too. So anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Stay safe out there, folks.